This video is brought to you by Zarrakan Productions, an umbrella group composed of multiple shows and an archive of over 5,000 videos covering a wide variety of topics. Please go to zarrakan.com for a complete listing of video links, social media feeds, and opportunities to support our content. Thank you for your time, and may I present another Zarrakan production.
Welcome everyone. Me and Abby are going to be playing Jokers, a game of cards and characters, which is a role-playing game that I've been developing slowly for multiple decades now. In fact, this game originally started as Time Wars a long time ago, like pre-1995. It would eventually become Zarrakan, which is how I would eventually get my first name, and would be renamed into Jokers, a game of cards and characters in the last decade or so. Now, it originally used dice. It doesn't anymore. It uses cards. It is a card-based role-playing game. It does have full miniature support, but for the purposes of this first session, because Abby is a new player, and I haven't run my own game for about a decade, so this is a learning experience for both of us. But it does have full miniature support. We'll be just using theater of the mind in order to do that. But future sessions may have actual little people running around. As mentioned, I'm kind of out of practice, and this book is full of typos, so this will be an interesting first episode of Jokers. You have any questions going into this? No. I'm pretty sure, I want to say, if I'm remembering it correctly, I think the last offline session I did was pre-2006, so we're almost going on 20 years. I do like watching Critical Role and Dimension 20 and various other actual play of role-playing games. We'll see if I've learned anything from those experiences. Another detail. Oop, there goes the card.
I think I got it.
Another detail is we're having Abby start off with a blank character sheet. Normally when we play Jokers, we fill out all this in advance, but as a means of helping us both learn this role-playing system, her for the first time and me for the first time in 20 years. We're taking it slowly this session. Yeah. Just going to shuffle our cards first. See, I can't do that. So you're doing better than me.
It's the only way we can do it. I can't do that.
Your first sensation is cold. Uncomfortable cold, but it is quite cold. You feel your body pressed up against, horizontally against a hard surface. You can't see anything yet. Your eyes are closed.
I can look around, open my eyes.
Open your eyes. Okay. When you open your eyes, tell me what you see.
What do you mean?
Tell me what you see.
I don't know.
Do you see anything?
I don't know. I didn't like. Okay,
That's fine. I can work with that. Alright, so you open your eyes. It's still cold, pressed up against the side of your face. A hard surface under your body. You can't see anything.
Can I move around at all?
Yeah. You appear to be on a smooth, hard floor. Feels kind of textured, like tile. Could be metal, you're not sure.
Okay.
It's completely dark. You don't see anything.
Okay. So I'm just kind of feeling my way around. I guess I get up and slowly try to find a wall or something.
Alright. So, I would like you to set your body and mind.
Okay.
You have 12 points to distribute between body and mind. And what we're doing is she's trying to get up and find a light switch, so there's a chance of failing at doing that. So to do that, we need to have some mechanics in place. So we're establishing her body and mind to start working on that.
Okay. 7 body, 5 mind.
All right. Okay, so let's sort some things then. Okay, so that is your stack, that is your hand, and your pile will go right here.
Okay.
And I got a soda over here, so I have space too. Alright, so you have a body of 7. Draw 7 cards, put them right there. Alright, so I'm going to take a look at your cards, see what you have. Alright. Okay, so I can see it, but what bonuses do you have?
Double 5, looks like.
Which gives you?
+2, 2.
Okay.
Let's see.
Alright. So, there's a chance of failure, and let me flip to the thingy. Alright, so once you declare an opposed action, you will play 1 card from your hand. Now, before you do anything, remember that after you play whatever card you play and the bonuses that has on top of it, what you'll be doing next is you'll be drawing. Actually, hang on. Make sure the sequence. Okay, then. The next two cards first. Okay. So. Before putting those into your pile, hang on. Actually, I think I just say it goes into your pile afterwards. Hang on. Yeah, this is where cards go after they're played from your hand. Alright, so what's the highest card you have? Okay. Now, let me point out something right quick. So, if you have cards that match, it does make it easier to group them together. It also makes it a lot easier for you to take them away.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So if I'm thinking you have 2 5s, and I just pulled a 5 here. Oh, where is it? Where are you? Right there? Okay. So if I know you have 2 5s, and I just pull right here, then I know there's probably a good chance it would be one of those.
Okay.
So, again, strategy. There you go. Spread your bonus cards out so that people aren't like, oh, you have +3? Okay. Maybe that shit's grouped together. And I'll just start taking cards.
Okay.
Alright, but we're doing a thing. You're trying to find a light switch, so you're going to want to play a card. Probably your highest card.
I'm thinking it should probably be pretty high. Next highest.
Alright, so what's the queen?
12.
12. Okay. And so that's...
Hopefully enough to find a high switch.
Well, I mean, so that's a 12 so far in your action sum.
Yep.
And you have 2 5s give you a +2.
Oh, bonus. Okay. Yeah, okay, so those apply to
So-
everything.
Right, so
Okay.
you have a 14.
Okay.
Okay, then you draw a card from your stack.
One, not 2.
Okay. To replace the one that you played. And
So I've got
now you have to draw 2 cards from your stack.
2 doubles.
Yeah.
8. 2 4s. 2 4s.
Alright. So that's pretty cool. So you have a +4 in your hand at the moment. But so draw 2 cards from your stack.
Okay. 2.
Okay, add them together.
16.
16. Alright, so your target number is 16. I don't suppose you have any jokers?
No.
No? Okay. So, try as you might, you're just kind of fumbling around. You smack your head on something. You can't see anything. It's just donk. Ow! And you're still searching.
I guess I'm just gonna keep searching.
Try again? Okay.
Yeah.
That's the same deal. Except now you have a +4 because you have those 2 cards that match.
Let's go 13.
Alright, so 13 +4.
Yeah, 17.
And make sure you draw a card to replace that.
17.
Alright, so draw 2 cards from the stack.
God.
What do we have now? So the target number was 9. So yeah, you got an action sum higher than that.
Okay. Okay, so ace is 1.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, cool. I thought it was screwed. Okay, cool.
Actually, that should be. Is there 1 card in
No, it's usually
aces? This is the one. Okay. 1 second. Need to do some editing. Okay. Number cards. This is 1. So when you have a game as old as this one, you kind of lose track of what's been pointed out in the game and what hasn't. So on the fly editing. Alright. Okay, so you're fumbling about, and you do find a light switch. Boop. And it isn't one of those flicky things. It is a button on the wall. You find it as you're searching the wall, your hand just kind of bumps into it, and it activates. The room starts to light up. First, flickering lights a little bit as things power up, and you're in a smallish room. Has a here. This is east, right? Which one's
east? Never eat soggy Wheaties.
Never eat soggy Wheaties. There we go. Unless they're covered in brown sugar. Need graph paper is what I need. I don't have any. I'll probably have some in their room somewhere. So it's a smallish room. It's about this size. Has one door on the east wall with a covered window in it, and another door towards the north, and a series of lockers on the south wall. Another door towards the west.
Let's see what's in.
The walls are all some kind of metal, and there doesn't appear to be any locks on the lockers that you can see. The floor has a really big scorch mark from where you stood up from, like it got hit by something. There's a partial outline of your body in the scorch. So whatever that was, it hit the floor next to you while you're on the floor. You can see some debris elsewhere on the floor, like little chunks of metal and stuff. Probably the thing that hit the floor next to you. And off in the northeast corner is a little floating ball with a lens on it, and it has these two little tubes on the underside, and it's just kind of floating there.
So it's a little floaty ball thing.
Yeah, a little floaty ball.
First, I'm going to see what's in the lockers, I guess.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Alright, so we're going to start from the western south. Just work our way this way. Alright. So the first thing you see when you open the first locker is a mirror. What do you see?
Wanna look into it?
Yeah.
see a middle-aged woman. Blonde, wavy hair, blue eyes.
So she's really pretty, huh?
I think that's it.
Alright. Good enough for now. So, I don't know how you would draw a picture. But draw yourself a picture of your character. Just don't what you see in that mirror. And you can write words too. Words work as well. But, picture words.
Okay, so while I'm doing my character, is that everything in that order? Or
No, we're going to talk about the other stuff too. But,
okay, so just this at the
right. So we're going to do that first because that's the first thing you see and it holds your attention because you don't recognize it. That's the first thing that occurs to you. Not only do you not recognize your own reflection, but it's not a recognition like you know what you should look like. This comes to you as if this is the first time you've seen yourself. So when you look in the mirror for the first, what you think is the first time, it's kind of like you're taken aback, like, am I seeing a different person? And oh, that's me. And then, oh, that's me? So it's not just that, it's not that you remember yourself differently, it's that you don't remember yourself.
I have never drawn people. Give me a little bit of mercy on this one.
No problem. And now that you're looking at yourself, you can definitely see that your clothing is damaged from whatever that was that hit the floor next to you.
So it looks like something exploded, essentially? Yeah. Okay.
Because there is debris. There's the burn mark with your silhouette.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it hit you in the middle, like there's a circle of crap around you. It's like it hit on the right-hand side. So when you stood up from the floor, there's like an outline of your right side.
Okay. Okay.
And there's like metal bits of shit all over the floor. So what are you wearing?
Okay, just for the sake of what you said, the floor is made of what? Is it?
Now that you're taking a little bit more time to gather up your surroundings, it's like industrial metal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's not seamless. It looks like the floor was laid down in sections. Like, for this smaller room, it's like 4 big panels of metal laid down as the metal floor surface.
Okay, so it's not even.
And then screwed in on the edges.
Okay. Okay.
the word access panel pops into your mind from somewhere.
Okay.
You're not sure why that occurs to you.
Let's see. Um,
That orb is closer now.
oh, fun! So it's not in the fucking corner anymore. Okay.
When you went from the middle of the room over to the lockers, it appears to have followed you.
Is it doing so menacingly? Or...
It's just floating there.
Okay. So, okay. Okay. Say hello to it? I don't know.
You say hello to it?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's a fucking floaty orb. I don't know what to do with it.
It goes boop.
Boop. Okay.
There's like a light around the front lens, and it just kind of lights up briefly blue as it goes boop.
Can I touch it?
Sure, you can try.
I,
Okay, well, you poke it, and it allows itself to be poked.
okay.
It moves a little bit when you do that, but when you stop poking it, it moves back into place.
Okay. You said there's like a lens thing in the center. It's like looking at me.
Now that you're looking at the tubes, I don't have a ball in here. Nothing. Let's say this is the lens,
Okay.
and this is the mostly rounded surface of the ball.
Okay.
There's like an elongated tube here, an elongated tube here.
Okay.
They appear to be hollow. Are you going to try and investigate deeper?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, opposed action, so you know how that works.
Yes. Yes. God, bless. Okay. Well, 10 plus 4 or 14.
Yep.
Pop a card to replace it. Okay. So.
And draw 2 cards for the target number. Ouch. That's a big no.
That's a big old.
You're looking this ball over, I mean, it's like, whoop. It's like, you're cute, whatever.
Yeah.
Just a floating ball.
Yeah. I would still like to try again, because I would like to know what the flying orb is. So, same thing pretty much.
You can try again. You don't.
Or,
There doesn't appear to be any kind of hurry at the moment.
Okay.
Since you woke up, about 10 minutes have passed, or thereabouts. You don't have a watch. There's no clock in this room.
Okay.
But you're guessing that, there doesn't appear to be any immediate thing that needs to be done.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can totally try again.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and try one more time.
Okay.
14. Oh, God. I don't.
Oh, shit, immediate fail. You pulled the Joker. You have absolutely no clue. This is just a cute little floating ball. It's adorable. It is so cute. It just floats and boops. Floating booping ball.
Okay, well, I will have to figure that out.
Do you have 7 cards, by the way? Okay.
Yeah. Well, the
So
floating
you don't have no idea. You might be able to try again a little bit, but right now it's like I don't even this thing. What is?
Well, I guess finish checking out the lockers.
We're still talking about what are you wearing? Is that something else that you see in the mirror?
Trying to think. Ooh.
I will give you this much, because you've been looking at it so much and playing around with it. At the base of the floating ball bot thing, you do see a very tiny little nameplate, like right here.
Okay.
What does it say?
Let's go with Omicron New Epsilon.
Okay. Well, that's the thing on the nameplate, you see. I gave you that piece of paper for notes, by the way. So
Yes.
there are things that you want to record
Yes.
that may or may not be important. It could all just be a red herring. I'm just fucking around with her. Or it could be the big bad of the whole campaign.
That would be
It was in the room with you the entire time.
sounds like some Saw. I'm gonna go just jeans.
So, ERB?
Floaty robot boob. That's it. Just as to what I'm wearing, jeans, I guess. Just a shirt and a jacket. Nothing special.
Does it have pockets?
Yes. Needs pockets.
Alright.
It's an important thing to know. It has pockets. Every girl needs pockets. Okay, so got that lightly taken care of. Not sure. Okay. So, is that everything in the first locker?
Well, in the first locker, after you get done looking at the mirror, and you can kind of see the little orb. What? Do you have an abbreviated name for this thing yet? Nameplate Epsilon? Okay.
Oh, no. Omicron.
Oh, 1.
Yep.
Alright, 1. Alright, well, as you're looking in the mirror, you can see 1 floating in the air behind you. It's floating.
Oh, that works.
In the locker, there's a utility belt with some tools on it, like a wrench, a hammer, a screwdriver, and like a pouch, which is empty. It doesn't have anything in it, but
Okay.
it looks like it could be something you'd store screws or bolts or whatever in.
Okay.
There's a heavier yellow jacket and the helmet.
Okay.
And it looks like like a thing of ramen.
Fucking wires, or is it just...
There's some like electrical repair supplies in there. Like there's a box of wires and fuses and stuff.
Okay. Gotcha.
It looks much like what you would think a maintenance locker would look like.
Okay. I mean, I guess you never know when it'll come in handy. Am I able to take those things?
Yeah. You take all of it.
Okay. Take all. That is what I would do.
We don't have encumbrance in this game, so there's the phrase "within reason." Is like, I stuff a whole ice box of 5-pound steaks in my pocket. Those are my rations.
Shit. Okay, so
It's spicy chicken ramen.
spicy chicken.
Yep.
Take the thing around too.
It is self-heating though. You do notice that all you have to do is
Okay.
add water and then push a button on the bottom and it heats itself up.
Okay. Well,
So you don't even need a microwave for that.
I'll definitely take that. So it's like a hat, a yellow hard hat kind of looking thing.
Yeah, yellow hard hat. It does have a headlamp mounted on the front.
Okay.
But it appears that the batteries in it are dead.
Okay. Okay, so it's got the hard hat, it's got the tool belt type thing.
You hear a banging sound off in the distance.
Oh, that's pleasant. Definitely taking the tool belt. Taking the tool belt with the pouchy things and all the wrenches and stuff. So, is there? Does it sound like it's getting closer, or is it just one bang?
Just a really loud bang off in the distance. And
That's pleasant.
do you want to try and like analyze the sound?
Yeah.
Try and figure out
I think
from
it
memory what it might be.
could.
Close action.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, terrible at this. So it's 13. This means... Ha! I got it.
All right.
62. Okay.
It doesn't sound like an explosion, so at least there's that.
Yeah.
But it's really far away, so it's hard to tell anything except that it's a loud sound that is not an explosion.
Okay. Then
You don't feel any reverberations like something exploded nearby.
Okay.
It's just loud.
Is there anything else in these boxes? Anything I can use as a weapon real quick? I can come back and make the other stuff up.
It's mostly all just utility stuff, much like what you found in the first locker. You do find in one of the lockers you do find working batteries, and you find 2 more pairs of working batteries for the headlamp. So you are able to change out the batteries in the headlamp and get that working.
I'll go ahead and do that.
So you have one in the headlamp and another spare battery for the headlamp.
Okay. So I will definitely take all that too. Obviously put the one in the
You find some personal effects, and just things like pictures and
anything that might identify who I am.
No, nothing that would identify who you are.
Okay.
There is a looking in the mirror. There is a name on the clothing you woke up in,
Okay.
but it's you don't recognize the name.
Okay.
But what is it?
Let's go with Goliath.
Okay.
So, can I maybe discern which which door I might go through, or like what direction from here I might go to find out what the sound was? Oh,
You're pretty sure the sound came from the north.
okay. I guess I'm gonna try the north.
At some point during your inspection of all the lockers, I'm sure you would have interacted with the pockets on your clothing at some point. Okay. You find a small electronic device, but you're not sure what it is. It has been smashed to hell. Apparently, however you ended up on the floor, you landed on top of it and just crushed it. There's a lot of different components to it. It was kind of, you said you were wearing a jacket.
Yeah.
Okay. So this would have been on an inside pocket of your jacket. So when you hit the floor, you compressed it right against yourself and crushed the shit out of it.
Okay.
So when you open your jacket pocket, it's like somebody took a bunch of Legos from a Lego set that was put together and just smashed it on the floor and then swept it up and put it in your pocket.
Okay.
So there's like wires and components and other stuff. It's just a mess inside that pocket. And there's a few things that may have had some kind of glass involved that are mostly dust. So you hit the floor hard and you just smooshed it.
Okay.
In another pocket, you find a small orb with a pin and a tag in it.
Okay, so it's a small orb with a pin and a tag in it.
Yep, there's some writing on the tag too.
Okay, like writing pin, stabby pin.
Writing pin.
Okay.
Writing, yeah. Well, I mean, no.
Like.
Okay, so.
Sorry.
It's a circular orb.
Yeah.
Little thingy at the top. That pin through the thing at the top.
Okay.
And there's a tag attached to the pin with some writing on it.
Well,
You haven't read it yet.
Definitely see what is attached to this mysterious orb with a pin attached to it.
Okay. So, it says, warning, this EMP grenade should not be used by people with cybernetic implants, is that it can cause temporary memory loss.
Okay. Okay.
Now, something else, that part of your clothing is burned, and where you found that other EMP grenade is on that side of your body where that scorch mark on the floor was.
Makes sense. Okay. So this other one I found looks intact.
Not really.
Okay.
It was damaged, it just didn't go off.
Oh, okay.
So,
Might be a good idea to just kind of leave that behind. Maybe.
yeah, before it goes off in your pocket.
I will put it in one of the lockers and shut the base.
Okay. While you're doing this, one is just kind of following you around.
Okay.
You asked about weapons. There's nothing really weapon-ish. I mean, you have a wrench, you have a hammer, you have a screwdriver. They're all just basic tools that you'd find at any hardware store. They're not anything complicated. I mean, if it's worth anything, the screwdriver is a star driver specifically, and the panels that make up the floor are held down by star driver screws of the same gauge as the screwdriver.
Oh, okay. Well.
And looking at the screwdriver, there's like a bunch of wear and tear around the middle of it that looks kind of like the teeth from the wrench. So it looks like how these tools were usually used is, if they had to remove a floor panel, they'd stick the screwdriver in and then take a wrench and then crank it with that.
Okay.
And the hammer was used for something else.
Okay. Well, definitely take those tools and stuff. Does it look? Is there any way I can tell if, like, any of the floor panels in this specific room have been pulled up recently, or that just kind
of do an opposed action?
hold on.
Why? You don't want to lose any cards? What's going on over here?
Nothing real. Oh well.
Yeah, I can see why. You got a +6.
Oh no,
here.
I do have a +6 now.
Yep. See, that's what I'm talking about.
I didn't even notice the sentence. Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It makes decisions harder.
Yeah, it fucking does. But,
Now, to be fair, how you would address this is, because there's always a chance that you would lose one of the cards that gives you your bonus because of the matching cards, you'd want to lose the lower numerical amount matches first, because that way, let's say if you lost one of your 7s, you still have a 7. That's still worth 7.
Okay.
Whereas if you lost, a lesser match, you still have higher cards. Higher cards are still higher cards. They still matter. It's always good to keep your matches because they give you bonuses. But higher cards also something to consider.
Okay.
Like you could have 3 kings. That gives you +3, but that's also a 13.
Yeah.
So you don't want to keep your 3 kings forever, because if you keep your 3 kings forever, then you put them out of circulation and using them in action zones.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. Well, I still don't think I'm going to, just because I don't think I'd be able to.
You hear another loud bang from the north.
Okay.
It sounds closer, but still not like immediately close. You also hear 2 other things. You hear what it sounds like something. It sounds like wind coming from the east, and on the west,
Hmm.
Some kind of clicking noise.
So there's all kinds of shit going on. I guess if I die, I'm gonna die by clicking noise. So to the west it is. I think.
Alright. So you go over to the store. There is an electronic lock on it. Looks like a key card. And then an access panel immediately below that.
Okay.
To answer your next question, you could not find. Did not see anything that would look like a access card on any of the clothing that you found or in the lockers. So such cards, if they have them for the maintenance crew, they take them with them, or at least there's someplace else.
Okay. Is this?
Did you still want to look into the access panel thing?
I mean, I've got tools, but I don't know if I can use them for shit.
You can try.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Shit.
Now, in terms of action sum, your highest card is a 7. So.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. I'll go with the 5, but I know. So that's 5 plus the 6, or no, not anymore. It's 5 plus 4, so 9. Oh, well, yeah, Joker and 3. So
Yep. So that would be a 14. So then, action sum. You're searching around. Now, I mean, there still doesn't seem to be a pressing. There doesn't seem to be like a timed event going on, or a pressing thing at the moment. So if you wanted to try again, you could.
I think I will try one more time.
Okay.
Got 8. Yep. Definitely.
Okay, you look at all these access panels, and it doesn't look like any of them have been pulled up recently, at least from your perspective.
Okay.
You don't see any scratch marks. You don't see. I mean, you see normal wear and tear, but you don't see anything like a bookshelf with scrapes on the floor, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So there's nothing immediately obvious that would suggest that any of these panels have been moved in a suspicious manner that would indicate something other than just, maintenance.
So, and all 3 doors have this, or is there a different?
Well, the north door does have an access panel with a keycard slot.
Okay.
Same thing with the western one. And of course the locker's on the south wall. And the eastern door has that window latch. That you can slide open and closed. And it doesn't so much have a key card, but a punch pad on that one.
Oh. Well, it's starting to sound like the only damn thing I can do is go through the floor. Pretty much.
All of these doors have access panels too. Like the keycard ones have access panels under the keycard slot. The punch pad one has a access panel under that. And since you're looking at all these things, every screw you see in this place so far is a star driver.
Okay.
It seems to be the standard that they use star driver screws.
Okay.
Because they're awesome.
Star driver. Okay. So, well, is there anything else? Like, is there anything?
When you come over here next to this door, you're not hearing anything from the north. at the moment. You haven't heard any more of that clicky shit from the west. When you get up next to this door, it's like woo, woo, like wind. That's what you're hearing from this direction when you get up close. Something else you also notice when you get up close to that door is that it's getting colder.
Colder? Oh, damn. So,
There's a window on the door. It just has a slidey thing.
okay. There, open the slidey thing.
Okay. All right. When you open the sliding thing, first it's heavily frosted. It's not obscured, but it's heavily frosted on the other side. Looks to be like it looks like the glass is very thick, and it also looks to be like the door is very thick too. Like the door is like the thickness of this table from one end to the other.
Okay.
And the glass is like the thickness of this thing right here.
Okay.
So it's that thick. It's very clear, just very it's heavily frosted on the other side. Looking through that brick of a door and the brick of the glass, you see a frozen wasteland. Snow and mountains of snow, and then far off in the distance, you see stars.
Okay.
And something occurs to you. Those stars are a lot closer to the horizon than I remember. Now, I would like you to do an opposed action to figure out why that bothers you.
Ha! Okay. I'll beat it.
Got it? Alright. You don't recognize the constellations.
Okay. So it was
Or at least not the. They look different from. Well, you don't recognize the constellations. The stars look different from what you remember.
Okay.
You can't really recall what they're supposed to look like, but you know they're not supposed to look like that. Also out here, you also see a small path leading up to a cleared out circular area that has like little lights dotting around it.
Okay.
And in the middle of that is here, let me make this a little bit more circular. In the middle of it all is a ship, a spaceship.
Okay.
And there is some branding on the side of the ship.
Can I take a closer look at it? Or is it?
You can see it pretty easily. I mean, it's written in fairly big letters on the side. What do you see?
The spaceship.
Yeah. What's the name you see on the side of it?
Elysium.
Alright. Elysium. What is that? Elysium. Ship. My ship. This is the ship you came on.
Okay. So I'm starting to kind of get my
As you're pondering that, more of this coming from the west. Except it's a lot closer now. It's a lot louder. Until
No, thank you. Don't want any.
you can hear that coming from the western door.
Okay.
We're clicking.
Fuck. Can I just tear up one of the floor panels? Get a screwdriver in the fridge. I don't know. Fuck this shit. Is that something that would take a while to do? Or
Alright, so this is the part where we talk about equipment quality. Because depending on the quality of the equipment, it has certain bonuses. The equipment that you have are used equipment. They're not the best that they used to be. However, they do appear to be in pretty good condition. Despite their wear and tear, despite the fact of how they use them. They're not supposed to be using a wrench on a screwdriver to do that.
yeah.
But they have, so there's been some wear and tear associated with that. But your equipment appears to be pretty high quality, at least started that way.
Okay.
So you have a hammer. Do you have these written down separately somewhere?
Where's the tool belt? That's right.
And actually, you can put that in your equipment over here.
Oh, cool. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I got the hammer, wrench, star driver. I think that's what you said for it, right?
Yep. So hammer, wrench, and screwdriver dash star.
I know how to spell that.
Now we're running this game as it should be obvious at this point. It's kind of a sci-fi setting. The setting for Jokers is usually fantasy. So when we get to something like coins. We're not going to be doing coins. We're going to be doing something like credits or, monies or what gold plus platinum or some shit. So, alright, so you probably want to write those individually. So like hammer, wrench, and screwdriver. And obviously, some of the skills that would be fantasy flavored in its normal campaign setting are now sci-fi flavored because we're using a sci-fi setting. Alright, so all of them are rare quality, so it's +4 next to each one.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Alright, so
So you're going to try and take up a 4 panel?
I'm pretty sure that's what I want to do.
So let me check something real quick. Don't think. Let's. Okay. Alright, so let's do this. We're going to give her her first skill. As you're handling the tools, you finally feel very comfortable in your hands.
Okay.
Don't think you're just a general maintenance person based on the stuff you found in your pockets. But they feel very comfortable in your hands. And, let's see. Okay. So, right, you have a mind of 5?
Yes.
Okay, so write down 3 right here for now.
Okay.
And then, let's see. Okay. Alright, so for skills, put general tool use.
Okay, so try to get it straight. Okay.
Okay. And like quotation marks knowledge or brackets, whatever these things are. Those things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. Bracket. Okay. Oh.
So put +2. And actually write a 4 over here. Erase that, put a 4.
Okay.
And we'll get back to that at some point.
Okay. Let's see. 4. Okay.
Alright. So, how this works is that you're trying to unscrew a 4 panel. So you have rare equipment, that's +4. You have general tool use knowledge, +2, so that's a +6.
Okay.
Plus whatever you have here.
+3, 5 altogether.
Okay, so that's a +11 between these two.
Okay.
And then you play a card.
Okay. 2, 11. Okay, I guess 11. So I'm gonna play a 7, but that 7 takes the bonus down to 4. Okay, I'm doing it.
Wait, here's something scrape against the other side of that door. So it's screep, stops. You hear tapping against the door now. Tip, 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 tip.
The fuck is going on? Okay. So, I'm gonna try to put a little zest in my step then. Okay. So that's 7, 11, that's 18. I guess that'd be 18 beats that. That's 11 plus 1, 12.
So you didn't get the action, son? Or what happened?
No, I did. I beat it. This
Oh, okay.
was the number to beat.
Okay.
7 plus the 11.
Okay. Alright, so you pop up a 4 panel. Just wires and tubing and plumbing and stuff. Now, there's 4 of them, because there's only 4 panels in this room.
Okay.
Which one did you pop up?
I'm gonna go with northeast.
Okay, so this one in the corner where 1 was floating originally. Okay.
Yeah.
When you pop that one up, there's some wiring and plumbing going this way and some going down this way. Nothing really going up towards the north.
Okay.
It's very narrow. There's not like crawl space. Okay, this is just a maintenance access type thing, much like you would have in like computer networking, where they have a false raised floor, so they don't run all the Ethernet cables and stuff under the floor.
Yeah.
So if there's any kind of changes or maintenance they need to do, they just pop a floor panel.
Yeah.
They sometimes do it with like ceiling panels too, but this is a little bit easier to access, which is why they do it.
Okay.
So this is purely a maintenance thing. The clearance on it is like from here to here.
Okay. So there's no way.
There's no way you're squishing through that.
Well, don't worry,
Unless you put yourself through a blender first.
It's there. I just
Tick, 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 screech. Tick, 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 screech.
I'm getting nervous. I want to get the hell out of here. I guess okay, so I'm not
You
gonna
hear another bang towards the north. It sounds different.
Okay.
And then you hear another one. And it sounds the same, but still sounds different from the first bang you heard. And then you hear 2 more very quickly after each other.
Oh, well, there's so
This
much
shit over here is still going on, by the way, with the scritching and the clicking.
Yeah, no, Okay, so there's no way to go under to get through these goddamn
No.
things. So I
I
guess.
mean, if you eyeball it, it does appear that the crawl space goes under the doors, but
Still not.
there's no way you'd be able to fit through them. Not even one.
Oh,
One
okay,
is-
okay. I was gonna say I maybe ask one if you go trip that shit.
The lens is like that big, and
Okay.
one is like a little bit bigger than that. So there's one can't squish through it either.
I don't know. I guess try the door to the north, see if I can do anything with the panel there.
As you're looking around, something that you notice, as this becomes more of a thing over here, with the clicking and scratching and everything on that door, you notice that the ring light around one's lens has turned red.
Oh, okay. Okay. See, maybe one knows what to do. What do I do, buddy?
Boop!
There you go, boop. Okay. So, well, I guess I'm gonna. Okay, so
There's clicking,
yeah, there's definitely.
Yep. And then it goes silent. Except it starts up again.
Oh.
It's very faint.
It's not gonna go under the floor.
It's coming from under the floor.
Shit. Can I put that panel back on real quick?
Well, I mean, you move to do that, and something jumps out from the removed floor panel part.
Fuck.
In fact, a lot of things happen simultaneously. Something jumps up out of that cavity towards you. You hear a high-pitched whine coming from one behind you. And you hear a very small, squeaky voice from one say, "Threat detected."
Yeah.
Right, combat droid.
Combat droid. Okay.
Okay.
Is that equipment or skill?
Skill.
Okay.
You can also write it in your equipment.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Because one is a legendary combat droid, so it's +6.
And that's same over here. I put +6 on the equipment and the description.
Well, on the skill, hang on.
Okay.
So on the skill, you put in brackets projectile weapon or pro weapon.
Okay.
And then you can erase that forward.
Okay.
And write a +4 next to that.
Okay.
Okay. So as this thing jumps out, and you hear one behind you go, "Threat detected!" And a little high-pitched, squeaky, mechanical voice. And you hear a whirring sound from behind you from one. So it sounds like something's powering up.
Okay. That's a good thing.
And then you remember. You remember one. One is mine. One does a thing. What does one do? One shoots stuff. One is my combat droid. And that's all you can think of, manage to think before this thing attacks you.
Okay.
It's a spider roughly the size of that cup.
Oh! Yes!
It looks like a mess of organic and spindly legs.
Oh, okay.
The best you can describe it is as a spider, because that's what it looks and moves like.
Okay.
But it looks like a cobbled together mess. Like the organic parts grew on top of it.
Okay.
And then took control of the mechanical stuff, which seems to be a jumble of junk that moves like a spider. It has like 8 legs. It has what you can only suppose is an operating bone saw on the front,
Oh, that's...
along with another serrated whatever next to it. You guess for me, its mouth. And it hops up out of the vent at you and attacks you. So, this is combat. And since you're in a tiny little room,
Yeah.
distance really doesn't matter. So, we're not going to factor that. Now, something else about Jokers is that there is no unconscious state. If she runs out of cards, her character's dead. Also, there are no skills that I know of that bring characters back. So there's a very real possibility this session could end early.
Hopefully not. But...
Yeah.
Alright, so... I guess the only thing I really have for myself is a hammer.
Okay, so I pulled a 10, so that means this thing has a body of 10 and a mind of 2. So, put this in the pile. Cue the Final Fantasy fight music. Da, 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 da.
Dun, 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 dun.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Alright. So, these are my cards I'm working with at the moment. see what I got here. Okay. uh, and I do believe initiative is a thing, so let's find out what that is. Okay. Alright, so initiative matters if there's like initiative really only because of how this system works. Initiative really only matters if there's more than two people. Like more than the game master and the player. If it's just a one player, then it doesn't really matter as much what the initiative is because we'll just be trading back and forth. So normally there would be initiative, but because there's only Abby playing and me running the game, there's really no need to do initiative, but there is an initiative system whereby if it was me, Abby, and someone else, we would all do initiative and then we'd go in the order of the initiative. Just not necessary with one player. So, but I did hop out at you. So I got surprise. I'm going to attack first.
Yeah, fuck that.
So, I'm going to play a 4. I have a plus 10. So this is a 14. And then you get to defend.
Okay, so 14. Okay, so
Now, this is where some strategy comes in. The most I can do to you is take one of your cards.
okay.
So what you have to think about is the card that you play, is that a card worth losing? Or do you want to try and keep that card with a risk that I'll take it away anyway?
Well,
also, this is the first round. We each regenerate one card every 4 rounds.
okay.
Pretty sure of that.
So do I get any bonuses to defending past the card after a corner?
Let's see. Yeah, your character draws one card per game per minute or every 4 rounds of combat. Stack to the maximum of 30. Alright. Oh, and if you draw your character can play a joker from its hand at any time to draw 2 cards from its stack. So jokers, one of the functions of jokers is that you can kind of heal yourself with them.
Oh.
Like jokers, that's why it's called jokers. Jokers do a lot of stuff.
Do I get any bonuses to defending? Like, past the card because I don't.
Yeah, I mean, you said you were wearing a jacket and clothes.
What jacket? Or, I guess I should.
So write that down in equipment someplace.
I guess I should be.
Now, it's not going to offer you like a whole lot of protection because it's just kind of like standard clothing with a name patch you don't recognize. So I might put +2.
Okay. Only thing I have that'll even remotely close is that here.
Okay. So that's a 13.
14, 15 defense.
Alright. So you play the king, make sure you draw a card. Alright, so I attacked you, you defended, you won that contest. Because you won that contest, you get to take one of my cards and put it on my pile.
Yeah. Okay. Not too shabby.
Alright, so 2, 2, and 2 and 3. And Alright. So that was my go.
Is one doing its own thing?
Oh no, one is essentially your gun.
Okay, then I got you. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so I'm gonna attack this thing with 1.
Alright. So that's the equipment bonus of 1. So that's 6. Plus your skill with 1. So that's 10. So you start off with a 10.
Okay.
Plus any bonuses you have
Okay.
in your hand. Plus the card you play.
Okay. So one more time, go over this with me. What are each of the bonuses?
Okay.
I know there's the combat droid plus 6.
Yep.
And
Then you have combat droid, your skill,
That.
plus 4. So
Okay.
that's 10.
10. Okay. And then we'll cover, I guess.
Right. So if you have any matches over here, you get the bonuses from them. And then you pick a card and play it and add all that stuff on top of it.
Okay. So 12, 10, 4, 26.
26? Holy shit.
26.
Alright. So it goes back to what I said previously. I do not have shit. Yeah, I don't have anything close to 26. So I'm going to play an ace, so that's 8. And since you won that contest, you get to take another one of my cards and stick it in my pile. Okay, so that was the first round. We're now on the second round. Alright, so I'm going to attack again. I still have... Still have that. I'm going to... Shit. I'm going to shit. Okay. So I'm going to... I'm going to sacrifice one of my higher cards. Make that bonus down to a 2. So 13 plus 5, 18. So I have an 18. You're defending, so you get plus 2, plus whatever bonuses you have in your hand, plus the card you play.
Plus 2. That's 18.
Yeah.
18, 2, 6. Thanks. I don't have anything with that. Yeah, I'll get rid of the ace. Fuck it. Okay.
Okay, so you didn't have anything that could defeat that? Okay.
No, it was +8, so it was 9.
Right.
Even my highest wouldn't take it. Oh, okay.
So it jumps through the air and then claws you on the side of the arm. Previously when he shot it, he like blew off one of its eyes. And
Oh,
it pops off, bounces into the room.
good stuff. Need more of that. I guess. Well, that was a failed defense, so I guess I'm gonna attack. Since, yeah. Six, 10. Okay, so 16.
Okay.
16. That blows.
Playing another 18.
You got an 18.
I had 2 kings.
I'm boned.
So that was the second round. So I'm going to attack again. And so I'm doing a 14.
Yeah. But then that takes my queen away. Okay, so that's queen 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm doing this thing.
Okay.
So,
Make sure you draw to replace.
yeah, that's right.
Alright, so your turn.
Plus 9 is 21, right?
Alright. I have a 6.
Oh. So I just choose a card.
This time you shoot off one of its legs.
Hey.
It squeeze at you. Squeeze!
Well, yeah.
Okay, so that was the third round. So I'm going to attack with a 14.
Okay. So I have a joker.
Well, first off, don't tell me. Don't tell people you have a joker.
Well, I mean, I
But
was
okay.
gonna try and use it. I don't remember all the ways to use it.
Now here's the thing about the joker. If I pull a joker from, if I attack you, and I pull a joker from your hand, I actually lose 2 cards, I believe.
Oh.
Let me see. Have a look here. here. Attack. If one of the cards played on top of the... No, that's for the other one. Okay. If the card taken from the other player's hand is a joker, your character loses the play, and the other player takes 2 cards from your hand and places them into your pocket.
Okay.
So the joker is essentially in your hand, is a +1. It is also a trap card, if you will.
Okay.
Also, it's a means of automatically succeeding on an opposed action.
Okay.
Like you say, I want to do this thing, play a joker, you automatically succeed.
Okay. Okay.
But they also count as 2 points when it comes to development points. So if you pull a joker, it counts as 2 development points, as opposed to cards you get under your mind.
Okay. Huh.
And it does even more things than that. But
Stuff. Okay.
so, have I attacked yet? What's going on? I forgot.
You wait. Did
I
you?
think I attacked, yeah.
And I defended.
Right.
Okay.
But for intents and purposes of what you're doing currently, the Joker is... Well, you can do 2 things for the Joker right now, alright? So the Joker can continue being in your hand as a +1. It also acts as a trap card, so if I attack and I pull that Joker card, you win the action sum, and I lose 2 cards.
Okay.
You also have... How many cards do you have right now?
5.
Okay. So something else that you can do right now, or any time you want to, is you could play that Joker to draw 2 cards from your stack. So you could heal yourself.
Oh, that's okay. Okay.
2 cards.
Okay, and then when I use the Joker, I replace the Joker with a card too, or is that?
Well, I mean, you can have as many cards as your stack. You're playing the Joker to
Draw the 2.
Right.
Direction. Okay.
Forget where that one is. Yeah, your character can play a Joker from its hand at any time. Draw 2 cards from its stack to the maximum of its body.
I'm gonna do that.
So essentially what she did is she's healing herself 2 points.
Yeah.
So she's back up to the maximum of 7 or 6.
Yeah, that's 6. Yeah.
Okay.
I used the 1 card.
One more card at least.
A lot better than 1. I mean, I'll attack, but that's 10 plus what, 2. Yeah, so 10, 18 plus 4, 22. Yes. Okay. 22.
Alright, I don't really have a... Oh, I remember to replace. I don't have anything that'll beat that, so I'm just going to pay a 12.
Ooh, good.
Okay, now we're in the 4th round. So, I'm going to attack with a 17.
I'm not going to be able to block it, so I'll give her a 2, I guess.
Another thing that you can do strategy-wise, if you know your players suck, you can like magically gathering clue denial them by taking the card register.
Thankfully, it was a crappy one. But, you know, had that been good, damn.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, just to let you all know, there is no rule against shuffling your hand whenever you want. So if you get a good card and you know that's going to be a problem because they've done it before, shuffle that shit around. Because players, if they're noticing things, you will notice that I'm avoiding playing certain cards.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
So if you're watching where I'm picking my cards from, you've noticed I'm not picking certain cards. You're like, that's probably an important card.
I gotcha.
So I should probably grab that card next time I have a chance. So there's a whole bunch of strategy going on with the cards in this game.
Yeah.
I'll give you a hint. I've been mostly avoiding these.
Okay, so it's my attack now, or...
Yep.
Oh, crap. Okay. 10 plus 3. 10 plus 2. What's that? 19?
Okay. I don't have anything. Alright, so 12. And because you took away one of my pairs, that +2 I had from the 2 queens that I have goes away.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Oh, okay. I mean,
alright, so that's the end of 4 rounds. So at the end of 4 rounds, we both draw a card. Because characters have a recovery rate of 1 card for every 4 rounds.
cool.
Oh. Okay, so I pulled the Joker.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm immediately going to play it.
For 2 more. Fuck you! Fuck you! Okay. I see.
Alright, and let's see what we got here. Not as good as I had, that's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to play this. And this is a 14.
God bless. I can't block. Let's see. I'll just get rid of that 3. Oh, there's one.
One is firing lasers at the spider, you're scoring hits and knocking off eyeballs and some legs, and somebody looks like it grows some more legs. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, I don't.
And it's been biting you on the ankles and slashing your thighs and your arm. There was one point it jumped at your face and you're like, ah!
Okay. This thing's never gonna fucking die. Huh?
Also, when it's just one player, combat does tend to last longer. obviously, when there's more players on that side of the table, they can pile up attacks more often and just beat whatever it is to death. With, trading back and forth in the recovery rate, things go on a little bit longer. But then, of course, if you only have one player, you're not going to want to hit them with mobs anyway. You're attacked by 34 scourges. What? They're only one hit point apiece. Yeah, but there's 34 of them, and I'm level 1.
Yeah. That's very good. Oh. Yeah, they're an attack each. At least one damage. Like,
yeah.
Y'all, come on.
That didn't happen to me in an actual tabletop role-playing session. That happened to me in one of the gold box Commodore 64 Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, shit. Huh.
It was some insane amount of scourges, like 54 scourges. It was like Pool of Radiance, that's what it was. Pool of Radiance had these insane mobs of creatures that attacked you when you were level 1. And what I would... because I had no money, what I had to do is I had to go grab free recruits, take them out to the battlefield, let them die, steal their stuff. So I could equip my main party, eventually leveled up enough so that we could have Fireball and start killing all these little fuckers running around.
That's about right. Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, yeah.
I think it's your turn to attack or something.
Oh, 12, 19. That was my bad.
Good. So you played a 19?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a 12.
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. Just to give you a tip, this is the card I drew.
Okay.
And the highest, well, think about it for a moment. The highest thing I could play to defend myself was a 12. So what does that tell you about my cards?
Okay.
So what do you want to do to me when I pull a new card? You want to take that new card away because you don't want me to get higher than 12.
Yeah.
Which I would have because the card I pulled was a jack. Alright, so
It's a lot more thinking than what I thought would go into this. Like, I mean, yeah.
So that was, now we're on round 2, and I'm going to do some attackings.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do an 11.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess 9. Oh, yeah. I'm terrible at that.
Okay, your turn to attack.
Crap.
Now, well, before you do that, the highest I could do was an 11. So what do you think I have over here for defense? Because you have a plus 10 just from your equipment and skill.
I'm over here not even thinking about that, but like that.
So if I'm playing an 11 to an attack,
Okay.
and that's my highest card with bonuses, then chances are you won't have to play as high to attack.
And I did get rid of the new card.
Right.
Okay. I mean, I just...
So if you Jen is a I mean, I could be completely lying my ass off over here and bluffing. All right, that is a component of this game. It is cards. All right, it is cards.
Possible.
But for the purposes of the first session, I'm not doing that. So she has a +6 for her equipment and a +4 for her skill with that equipment. So you have a 10. If I'm pulling an 11 as my top amount, then chances are you can beat whatever I have over here with a 12.
Yeah.
If not less, but at least a 12 would probably beat anything I have over here. So this is an opportunity for you to play a lower card and still win the play.
No, I guess I'll use my freaking 2, damn
All right.
it. Yep. Okay, so that's 12 attack.
Okay, and man, I have garbage over here, so I'm gonna play a 4.
Yeah, I don't think I only got 4. Okay, so it went through. Or...
Yep, it went through. So you grab a card of mine. My newest card is this one.
Oh,
You didn't see it, but that's the one I put over here.
I've got to start like paying attention to absolutely fucking every single little thing going on apparently. Yeah, I guess, but it's also a 4.
Here.
Okay.
So now we're in the 3rd round. I'm gonna do an attack with a 9.
Yay! 11? 11.
Draw a card.
I'm almost out of cards.
So you won that one, so take one of my cards.
Oh.
That's your turn to attack.
Let's get that. 13 attack. Yep, attack 13.
I will defend with a 9, so I lose that too.
Okay, so I take your card. Yes.
Yep.
It will probably.
Normally I would have like a GM screen, so I'm not doing this out in the open. But what did I just do over here?
I'm guessing you raised the bonus. I was trying not to just dead ass watch everything you do.
So what I did over here is I wrote down +3, and then you took that card away, and then I wrote down +2. So what does that tell you?
2 more 3s.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from that, you know I'm holding 2 more 3s over here.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, I have to pay attention the whole time. It's like I'm missing.
And was that your attack? Or
That was my attack.
okay. So now we're in the 4th round. I'm gonna attack with 8. The spider's looking really ragged right now.
Good shit. Okay, so that's 6, 2, 2, 10.
Okay, so you win it. Now, before you take a card of mine, what did you see when I drew that other card?
It's a mind game.
Okay, well, when I drew the card, what I did is I I put the new card right here.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 other cards.
Mm-hmm. So
You know I have a +2.
And that would be
So what are these?
30s. Mm-hmm.
So what would happen if you took away one of these 2 cards?
The bonus would go.
Yeah, it sure would.
But
That would screw up my end of the game pretty badly.
I'm sure it would, but
No, do it.
no,
Kill,
okay.
kill the spider.
I do it, but I don't know.
Kill the spider.
Okay, fine.
Alright. So I believe it's your next.
Okay. Yeah, I guess just jumpy poopy. 11 and 21?
Alright, and draw a card.
Or wait. 11, 10, 2, 23.
Alright.
Oof.
Okay, now, since there's no stack left, you want to shuffle your pile.
Okay.
Actually, let me see what it says about that. When your stack is empty, shuffle both your hand and pile into your stack, and then draw cards you had in your hand. So, you have 4 cards here,
Mm-hmm.
and what you want to do is you want to remember you have 4 cards. You want to take all 4 of these cards and put it in the pile, and then shuffle it, and then draw 4 cards.
Okay. Chance for
While this is all going on, while you're fighting the spider thing, you do hear that very loud sound happen a lot towards the north.
Okay.
Like bang, 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 bang. And then for most of your fight with the spider thing, and then you hear a scream, and then the sound stops.
Okay. That's okay.
And draw 4 cards, because you have 4
Oh,
cards.
yeah. No, I'm not dead yet. Sorry.
Okay.
Give me 4 cards. Okay. So was it my attack or your?
I think so.
Thought
Did you
it
play something already?
I had to have played the Joker to attack, which would have been 23, and then drawn my card, which would have caused you to have told me to have to shuffle it. So
Okay, so you had an action sum of 23. I'd play a 3.
You attack?
Oh, no, I tried to defend myself. I played a 3. So you win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Alright, so we're on.
Okay.
That's 4 rounds. We both draw 1 card from our stack. And I attack with a 5. Oh. I drew a Joker, which I can immediately play.
Grab 2. Hell yeah. Oh, god damn it. No, not hell yeah. Fuck you. Okay. So,
But I did play a 5, so that's all you have to be. And these are the 2 new cards I drew.
Mm. Because could use that technically. 6, 16, 18.
Okay, so you win that one.
I hope this kind of monster's not going to. I feel like this is the common theme. This shit's just going to keep coming back.
Alright.
Okay. Oh, did.
Well,
Where?
yeah, you already drew one. Actually, did I? Who attacked?
Wait,
no, I
no, we
attacked, you
both
defended,
got
I
one.
lost it, so you took a card, so now you're attacking. Which should be hilarious. Was it action sum 30?
Well, not. Okay, shut up. I think I had 4 cards. So I need. I'm so lost. Okay.
You should have 5 cards, because when you
That's
shuffled
what I
your
was
stack,
thinking.
you had 4 cards, and then it was like the end of 4 rounds, so you drew another one. So 5 cards,
Okay.
and now do an attack.
It's 20?
Yeah, easily. I defend with a 2.
What was it?
Okay. So, my turn again. Attack with a 4.
Hey, 5. Or wait, 2, 4, 6. So 6. Sweet. And 22. Okay. Hey! God bless. I thought that fucker was gonna kill me.
So, with great dexterity, you bob and weave and dodge and stuff, all the while giving commands mentally to one of them. You're not giving them verbally, you're thinking it, and one is following your commands. You're thinking, attack the spider thing, attack. And one is doing exactly what you're telling it to. And through...
Do I need to keep these?
Oh no, you can shuffle everything together again.
Okay.
And then just draw 7 cards.
Okay. Okay.
But one is following your mental direction and is not shooting. Did I say it was lasers already? Or was it,
I don't think you said exactly what it was.
okay. One is shooting like these little explosive darts, and just was like peppering the spider with them, like blow off a leg, blow off an eye, blew off a part of its torso, the central body at least. That's what you think it is. And eventually it just, I mean, it's getting damaged, but it's not really, it doesn't really seem like it notices, aside from the screaming, the little squeaking, loud noises it makes, constant.
Yeah.
That it's doing. Eventually, you command one to blow the thing apart. You do enough damage to it that it's not able to function and just collapses.
Good job. Hope there aren't too many more of those things. Welcome.
Towards the north, you hear a different kind of sound. Now, it's
Crap.
it's a clicking sound, but it's louder and the tone is different.
That's a big one. That's a fucking big one. Just absorb the people. Oh. Uh-uh. I'll take a quick time out.
Sure. More spooters coming.
Whoa, spotters. Yes.
The mechanical organic spider nightmare thing lies at your feet. Again, it's the size of that. A little bit less now because it's been blown apart. So there's bits and pieces of it scattered all over the room now. Like an eyeball stalk over here, a buzzsaw over here, a leg, another leg over here, etc.
Pieces.
Yeah, pieces. So throughout the fight, you've had this realization that one is tied directly to your mind. You're not having to give it commands verbally. You're not having to point or anything. You're dodging and you're looking at the spider, and not even mentally saying in your head, "Hey, one shoot." You're thinking shoot, and one does that.
Okay.
And again, off to the north, you hear that loud clicking sound.
Yeah.
That's different in tone from the little thing that you just fought.
Ouch.
And now that you finally have a chance to catch your breath after fighting this thing, images really quick, like being in front of a video projector that's showing slides or sped up video, start racing through your mind. Incomplete, taken completely out of context. Just you remember when you had the implant installed in your brain to link you to one. Remember the first time that you powered one on. Do you remember being on you said it was the Equilibrium, the ship outside?
Mm-hmm. Or Elysium.
Elysium. You remember being on the Elysium, going someplace. You were a passenger. Someone else was flying it. You remember doing something with a control box. It looks really similar, really familiar. And then that disappears, and memory to memory, memory to memory, all jumbled. You remember that this is your name, but you also remember your last name. What's that?
Spider-Man. I don't know.
Spooder Gore.
Spider-Man. I don't know. It's fucking spiders.
remember that box having something to do with being able to access unlocking systems. Put security, and then those things, knowledge.
Okay.
+2.
Let's
Also, put Tech Wizard, those thingies again, learn.
Tech Wizard, what?
Tech Wizard, and then those parentheses thingies. I don't know, not parentheses, but.
Actually, yeah, parentheses.
Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tech Wizard.
Yeah, Tech Wizard.
Go put it.
Learn. +2. Okay. And one last one. Okay. Build combat drone. +2.
Okay.
Good. All right. So memories keep flooding back. Images, video, sounds, smells, things that don't make much sense in the moment because you're just being bombarded with them. None of it makes sense in your current context. You still don't know what any of this is going on. You're just it's like it's like going to bed today and waking up tomorrow, and tomorrow you know how to play piano.
Okay.
That's how disorienting it is.
Okay.
It's like, I can do kung fu. And you weren't able to do kung fu a moment ago.
That's what's up. Mm-hmm.
But as these things come flooding back, you feel like you know more than you did before, at least in terms of skills. Which will lead us into the development process. So, alright. So draw your character's mind cards from your stack. Say a mind of 5, so you want to draw 5 cards. Alright, and turn them over. Alright, so which ones are lower than 5? I think you only have 1.
Yeah, just
Okay.
one.
Okay. So put those in your pile over here.
Yeah, probably
All of them.
Oh, all of
Alright. So that 1 plus the 2 points in learn gives you another development point. So you have 2 development points that you can put into one of your skills.
Okay.
Or a new skill if you want.
Okay.
You want to look at the skills?
Yeah.
Okay. That's 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, given what you know about your character so far, is there another skill that you believe your character would have? Because it doesn't have to be something that's listed in the game. It could just be something we negotiate as something your character has.
Okay. Yeah.
And as far as these skills go, you have a mind of 5, which means any one of these skills can have up to 5 points in them. Which would increase. If you wanted to say like max out your combat drone, put another point in there. That'll put it up to its maximum of 5.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
That sounds good. I might actually do that too. Okay, so that will definitely be one I put up since that's pretty much my attack too. Alright.
Now, what I will say is that for defense, all you have is your jean jacket. You don't have a skill in defense at the moment. But you could if you wanted to.
Well, I could definitely use this for sure.
And that should, I believe, is it the skill called defense? Yep, okay. You can just call it something like evasion.
Yeah,
Dance fever, whatever.
Dance fever.
Dance foo. I know how to dance foo.
Shit.
Dance around all them spiders.
Fuck those spiders. Fuck those spiders. Fuck those spiders. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking something kind of like that
Because if you spend like 1 point, at least I'll give you a +1.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll just call it evasion.
Yep. Evasion brackets defense +1. You remember how to move with greater grace. You think you know how to dance, you just can't recall any times you danced. We can dance if we want to. Some of these are the things I do.
Don't dance it, don't dance it. No friends.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's my 2 points. My 2 single points. Pretty much. Yeah. Stay on.
Your clattering sound to the north.
Yep.
Not a bang, clattering. And more of that really loud.
What?
Except it's louder than the previous one at a different tone. So it sounds big or whatever it is.
Yeah. Like the small one wasn't bad enough. Okay. Well,
It doesn't, none of it makes sense in terms of where you are, but you recall some of your backstory. What is your backstory? From what images and video and stuff you've been able to remember?
I'm more an outcast of society. Yeah, it's kind of never really learned to fit in, so kind of found places on the fringe to kind of survive. Didn't have anywhere to live, really. No home, no family, or learned how to like I guess you hack, use droids, all that kind of fun stuff at a fairly early age. Learned how to take care of herself.
That's one of the things that you see in a lot of the images and stuff that play back in your mind. It's not so much of people, but of electronics, of droids, of things, of being over a workbench, tinkering, fiddling with things. Nothing refined per se, but functional things, things that get the job done. Against the middle of the northern door, you hear a screeching sound.
Goddamn spiders.
This is far larger than the little skittering scratch of the previous little bug thing.
Okay, so it can't really crawl under the door this time, hopefully.
It doesn't sound like it, at least.
Okay, so the west door, west door is still locked, right?
It has a key card, a little scan thing, like you have a name badge and like beep and go through. It has an access panel below the keypad.
I'm not guessing that fucking thing had anything like that on it. So,
The spider?
yeah,
No.
definitely no.
No.
It's a spook.
Are you gonna look at the spider?
Yeah, before this other thing comes and decides it's gonna try and kill me too.
Okay. Do an opposed action to see how well you investigate it.
13. Don't know if there are
card. Do you have any pluses in your hand?
2. Yeah, 2 plus 2.
Alright, so 15.
So,
And I would say this is close enough to build combat droid that plus 2 would apply. So 17 total.
Okay.
Right, now draw 2 cards.
Okay. 2 and 8. 10.
Okay, you definitely get it then. Alright, so most importantly, you can verify the thing is truly dead. Whatever powered this thing is no longer powering it. So it is inert. It's not moving. There's no radiation coming off of it, nothing. It's just dead. It's a paperweight. A really gross paperweight, but it's a paperweight.
Okay.
It appears to be constructed of a jumble of stuff. The main component appears to be a cybernetic hand that has like claws on it. So what you took for a spider at first was a cybernetic hand crawling around like this,
That's horrifying.
but with additional fingers on it. So it's not like a 5-fingered hand. It's more like, I don't know. There's parts scattered all over the place. You figured it at least had 10 when you first saw it.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. And then
So
there's a big one.
It was kind of like a fusion together of 2 hands like this.
Nightmare fuel. Great. Great.
And bound together at where the wrists would be. And on top of that is some kind of pink and black and blue, kind of like bruised flesh, like really bruised flesh. It's squishy, it's oozing, and it's like layered into the electronics and around it.
Okay.
And it was from that the little like eyeballs and stuff.
Okay. That's fucking gross.
And the eyeballs were like human eyeballs. They're like
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
black orbs about the size of grapes.
Okay.
And there's a couple of those rolling around on the floor that you haven't stepped on.
Yeah.
The ones you have stepped on do squish like grapes.
No,
It is a very gross, horrifying thing. But it appears to not appear to be something natural.
Yeah. Okay.
It very much looks like a bunch of normally cybernetic parts that would be used for like limb replacement. Like
Okay.
somebody lost their hand, they would have one of these things stuck on. And on top of that is this weird organic growth that sprouted eyes apparently. But it's dead. It's not moving, not doing anything.
This one's dead. Okay. Is there anything useful I can find on it?
Not really. One shot at the shit.
Gotcha.
I mean, if you had found some way to possibly take it down non-lethally, maybe dismantle it and harvest the hands. But I mean,
That seems a little
gross.
serious.
But you know, it's been shot to shit.
Okay.
There's a term pops into your mind: the explosive flechette round.
Okay. Okay.
That's what one was shooting.
Okay, that's nice.
So it would penetrate the target and explode like a miniature explosive.
That's beautiful.
And you know, one was shooting a lot of those at them. So it's not torn apart completely, but it's severely damaged.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like there's gonna be much left. Okay.
Speaking of which, when it comes to one, each time one fired, you heard a quick whir before it fired again.
Okay. Okay. Did I see where it fires from?
This little tube's on the side.
Tubes. Okay.
So it's like pop, 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 pop.
Okay. That's fine. Yes.
Yeah, like that.
Okay. Crap. I don't want to. I guess see if there's any way I can. Damn it. I guess find a way to the north. I guess if it has to be through the control panel.
Well, to the north is the big thing on the other side of the door.
Yeah.
You can't hear anything from this side, and then you have this door that goes out to the port where your ship is.
Alright, I mean, okay, so the sound through the north, it's just pretty much at the door.
You can hear something big scraping on the other side of the door. It's not trying to beat its way through the door. It's just kind of like, I don't have a sound effect in here, but it's, chalkboard.
Yeah.
Screech.
Okay.
Screech.
Yeah.
More clicking.
So I mean, I know it's a giant fucking spider. It's a giant goddamn spider from hell, but as long as it's not able to get through the door.
So if you're trying to avoid the big whatever it is on this northern door,
Definitely.
you have two options. You have the western door and you have the eastern door.
I guess I may as well try the western one. Hopefully.
So it's keycard locked, has an access panel below the keycard.
And I'm going to try and open that with the star driver.
Alright, so that would be a general tool use.
Okay.
Opposed action.
Don't think. Oh, no, I do actually. Okay, so 12, 2, 2. So 16. 16? I have to replace that card. 16, that's good. Nope. Damn.
Okay, you try your best, and the screwdriver breaks.
Oh! Cool. Cool. Okay. Whoa. So,
Now, you do remember that that's not the only screwdriver you found. That's just the only screwdriver you kept from searching the lockers. There was 3 other lockers.
okay, well, I'm gonna need another screwdriver.
Right, so you go back into one of the... You go back and you find one of the 3 remaining screwdrivers. There's 3 more.
Okay.
This one appears to be in a little bit better condition, so it's a... I guess this one, is that what it is?
Star driver. Or whatever. Yeah.
Right, +5 next to it.
Okay.
This one apparently has not been vice gripped in a wrench, so it's in a little bit better condition.
Cool. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna give it another shot.
Okay.
Star driver +5. Does a +5 from the star driver itself stack with the general tool use?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're starting with a +7.
Okay. So. Yeah, +7. 13. Oh, obliterated fucking. Ah, damn it!
In case you break that one, there's 2 more. The last one looks like it was just brand new, taken right out of the package like yesterday. So, raise that, put +6 next to it. You have a legendary screwdriver.
Oh, nice. So +6.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like my luck with screwdrivers is just gonna suck. Shit. Oh wait, no, I have to replace that one. I keep doing that. Okay, so try it again. Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna do a 9 this time.
Okay.
Plus a 6, 15,
+2.
17, yep. 19, 21.
Okay.
21. Please tell me that's not a fail. I said it.
Joker, immediately fail.
Oh.
Snap that one in half. Alright, so you're 3 screwdrivers in. You have 1 more.
Let's grab that last one.
Okay.
Fuck.
Well, lucky for you, that one also appears to be really new. So, still +6. There aren't any more screwdrivers though.
I went through fucking 4 fucking screwdrivers already. Well, 3. I'm working on the 4th. Shit. Okay.
No, you aren't doing this and breaking shit. You are making more noise than you otherwise would be just, walking around, standing, and looking at things. The thing on the other side of the door starts pounding on it.
Oh, great. Okay. I'm gonna, I guess, try again, because, fuck this shit. But,
and so far the door doesn't appear to be affected by it, but you can hear it trying to get through.
Great. Just what I need. Another big ass Spidey. Okay, so I'm just gonna give that stupid door one more shot, I guess. If I get another fucking joke. Okay, so 2, 2.
Yeah.
7, 2, 2, 7 is 11, plus the 9 is 20. 5. Fuck yes! Okay.
So you managed to pop off the access plate after 3 screwdrivers. Alright, so now you have access to the electronic components that make up the electronic lock on the door.
Okay. So, security knowledge, I'm guessing. It's maybe a little something to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got 4, 6. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can disable the lock on the door.
Okay. Now, what are you going to try and disable it? Because I know you're not licking your finger and sticking it in.
Oh no. Yeah. Actually, I guess I don't really have any electrician's tools, do I? Okay.
Parts.
Okay. I was wondering, how am I going to wait?
I mean,
okay.
In the lockers, along with the stuff you already found, you found
the stuff.
You have a whole mess of electronics in your pocket. Those smashed to hell, whatever that was.
Okay.
You also have the fuses and wires and tubes and other replacement shit that's also in the lockers. Along with some food and personal effects.
Okay, yeah. Well, the spicy chicken.
Yeah. You found a couple of those. It looks like it's really popular here, wherever here is.
Can't imagine why. Shit's good.
Yeah.
don't know specifically how I would do it, but with some of those wires and tools.
Tell me what you want to do.
I would like to see if there is like some kind of bypass where you just kind of cut power to the system, clip a wire, basically, whatever the fuck, and disable the lock that way. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, you have skill and security, and you have whatever bonuses you have here. What we're trying to think about is trying to give you a piece of equipment or make a piece of equipment that would help with that. So, using what you have, what you know, etc.
I got you.
What do you want to make?
Something that would allow me to get through the security and disable.
Alright. So what's this thing look
like? It's got a beam. It's got a button. When there's stuff, it goes ding. Okay. I don't know. This little hand gadget. Probably something you could just wire to the panel itself, like override any kind of security.
Alright, so you don't have a skill in this, but what I'll say is, let's say general tool use, but you don't get the bonus of the tool.
Okay.
So an opposed action would be plus to your general tool use and any bonuses you have here.
General tool use. Okay,
so that 10 plus that is 12 plus 16. Whatever you have here. All right.
16. Did I do the opposing roll?
Yep.
Oh god. Wait.
Okay, so that's a 16. Right, so it's the exact number. Forget how that works, but hang on. Still a failure.
Okay, so
you don't quite get there. I mean, you make a little box. You find a box like this. It's like about this size. It's metal. You carve out a little thing to have on as a button, and you wire it up, and everything looks like it should work. And you push the button, and nothing happens. So the equipment that you're trying to design doesn't quite work yet, but you know you're close. And you know that if you can get it to work, that it will definitely help in trying to get through the security system. A metal spike comes to the northern door.
Oh.
And then withdraws.
I'll go work on the door just a little bit harder. Shit, my pants.
And you definitely hear something scree on the other side of the door through the hole that's found the door that's about that big.
Oh. Okay, so 10, 13, 19? 19. Yeah, 19. Aha, got it.
And was that to open the door or to make a thing to open the door?
That was to fix the thing that wouldn't work to open the door.
Okay. All right, so you have a handheld hacking device. And by how much did you succeed over the target number?
By 12.
Okay, so we'll say that is plus 6 in hacking device.
Okay.
So you made a legendary hacking device.
Yay! And now, I would like to use the handheld hacking device to get the fuck through this door before the giant spider eats my heart. Might I just say, fuck giant biomechanical spiders. Yes. Do that to the spider.
As you complete construction of this device, another metal spike goes through the top right of the door, and it stays there, and is joined by another one over here.
Oh, it's learned how to perforate.
And you hear the middle of the door start to squeal.
Okay. So the thing is pretty much trying desperately to get in. Okay. I'd like to. Maybe.
Alright, so let's hack the door. So you have a plus 6 plus your security, which is 2, so that's 8 plus whatever you have here.
8. Yeah, plus 6. Wait, no. 8 plus 4. Okay. 12, 24. Oh, wait, no. 21. 23. Sorry.
Right. And replace the card. And then draw 2 cards for the target number.
Yeah, 11. Good.
Okay.
I got it.
You have no problem. You use the hacking device. You tie it up to the wires on the door, the access panel. You go beep boop. The door pops open.
Hmm.
Boop.
I'm gonna go through that door, make sure one is through it too, and then shut that bastard and lock it.
Okay. You have no problem. Okay. Alright, so when you go through this door and slam it behind you, it's very dimly lit in here. But what you can see is rows and rows of racks and also piles of containers. You don't see any doors out.
Wrong door.
But this is a very large room. Looks like a storage room with just a ton of racks, like the rack behind me, just much larger with stuff piled up on it. The box is marked with their contents, various crates of stuff, not wood crates, but like metal containers, plastic containers, various shipping boxes and stuff like that, piled up in here. Some of it is marked food, like dry storage. Like you immediately see one that's already open has spicy chicken ramen right on the side. And you see other stuff in there, dry storage, food, and this appears to be a storage area for wherever this place is. This is for storage and cargo, which makes sense because it's right next to the ports. You go from the port straight into that.
And if you go north, you get giant hand spiders.
You hear metal screaming on the other side of the door.
Does it sound like I've got time to run through there and hack the port? Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, your only way you'll know is if you try.
Okay. Well.
What you do know is that based on your interactions with this port door, you know it takes a code to get through that.
Oh, God bless. That's right.
You don't know the code. You may have known it at one point because, you know, remembering back from any of this, one of the things that you, I mean, you're kind of in a hurry now, but one of the things that you've observed from all of this since you woke up is that aside from apparently one of your EMP grenades going off and knocking your ass out and putting a scorch on the floor, is that aside from that, there wasn't like a lot of damage. Like, however you got into this place, you didn't have to take the door down to do it.
Okay.
And you didn't come up through the 4 plates because there's no way you could have squeezed through there.
Yeah.
So you came through that door at some point. You just can't remember what the code you used to do it. So the code, if ever you had it, got blasted out of your brain when that EMP grenade went off. And you don't know how that happened, but that's, from your best guess, that's why you can't remember so much, because it scrambled your brain because you have cybernetic implant.
Okay.
So when the EMP grenade went off, it did a electric surge into your implant, which then did surge into your brain.
Okay. Well, this EMP grenade, does it have a big blast radius or for the EMP? No clue. Okay.
No clue.
There's still that.
What you do know is that the room that you came from, the one you woke up in, was relatively small. It was about the size of this room.
Okay. Huh?
And one was hovering in the northeast corner. So, whatever radius it has, it was a small enough radius that didn't hit one.
Okay.
Of course, a lot of your body shielded it too, because it blew up in your pocket.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I guess I'll take my chances with that one. So there is a mechanical element to these hand spiders of doom. So I reach back in that locker and pull out that fucking faulty EMP grenade.
I mean, okay. It still has a pin in it.
Okay. Oh, I mean, as long as it hasn't gone off yet. Soon.
Then you take it, you run back over here.
Oh yeah, I definitely do.
Because when you're briefly in here, you can. It's still working on the door.
God.
You can hear the metal in the door squealing. What's done is it's pried the top right, or depending on what you're looking at, top left to you. It's pried the top left corner of the door downwards towards its end. And it has about 2 more of those long spikes. They appear to be jointed, like legs. Over the door, using those to pull it down too. It is crushing the door by peeling it backwards. And it's a lot louder now, and it's screaming.
Shit. Like, god damn it. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely going back to the far corner of that room or something.
Locking the door behind you?
I mean, at this point, I don't know what else to do, yeah.
So, I'd like you to do an opposed. Are you going to inspect any of this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes,
So-
the whole thing.
All right. So
Briefly.
we're going to do 2 checks for that. The first check is tell me what you're looking for.
Can it be multiple things?
Yeah.
Okay. Well. Okay.
Because I mean, it's all labeled, but you don't remember. It's not.
Okay.
It's like food, supplies.
Okay.
There's nothing like rocket launcher.
Yeah. Could be under supplies. Well, since I have no memory.
Super combat drone.
Okay.
Spider
so,
squisher.
Okay, so high-profile cargo would be taken off first and probably set. So I guess I'm gonna check some of the back, see if there's anything to do with like Okay, one. I guess there's absolutely no other way out of here aside from that door.
No, this is just a big windowless room.
Okay. Well.
I mean, the floor still has access plates. Like, well, you've only seen 2 rooms of whatever this place is, but it has the same access plates on the floor that it did in the other room.
Mm-hmm.
So, you could pop them with a screwdriver. You could do that if you want, but you suspect it's the same thing where the floor is only this high up.
That's what I'm thinking. Only thing I can think is look for any kind of like big explosive weaponry that might be. I don't fucking know. Like fuck these hands.
Okay. Well, I mean, do an investigation.
I think I would go for any kind of explosive weapon. Shit, any kind of weapon, period. At this point, I forgot. Well, okay, I'll do the investigation. Damn it. Maybe look for anything that looks specifically tailored to taking out, like, cybernetics. That's about.
Okay, I'll let you use build combat drone at skill to add into that search. Based on your skill with building combat drones, you would recognize parts used for that kind of thing.
Okay.
So it would be that plus whatever bonus you have in your hand, plus whatever card you played.
Okay. So 5. Check. Okay, so that would be 5. 2. 2 and 2, so that's 6. 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 15, I guess. Please. God, no. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Ah! Okay. Pulled it off.
Alright. On the back wall, you find some workbenches, and around those workbenches, you do find parts for more combat droids similar to one. You don't really find anything like shotgun, pistol, rifle, rocket launcher, or anything like that. With that, you can say for certainty that there's not weapons per se, but you have plenty there to build combat drones. It appears to be your main means of defending yourself. So that's why you have the cybernetic implant. Why do I need a gun when I have one, that kind of thing. But you can say for certainty that there's not anything like rifles or shotguns or other stuff.
So it's definitely more technologically advanced stuff. Okay, well, let's build us an army of drones.
Now you do know that you can only control one at a time.
Okay. So
At least with the skills that you can remember at this moment.
okay. Well, right.
So is there anything else you're searching for?
Are there any kind of threats, anything like that, automated defenses?
Maybe components, but you can't recall how to use them. You find like a tripod. You find tripods. You find like much like the explosive flechettes that one has. You find like a version that, with some expertise, you might be able to mount on one, but you just can't recall how to do
that. Fuck.
No, you're looking for like offensive things.
Oh,
You look for something better than a jacket.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. See if you can find one.
Okay.
Now you don't have a skill that would relate to that, so it would just be whatever bonus you have there plus the card you play. Oh shit! All right.
Yes.
All right. So she played a Joker, so that's automatic success. And yeah, you find it easily.
Okay.
You find a box that says body armor.
Oh, okay.
And, well, I mean, it was hidden in a bunch of other boxes, so it's not like you looked at it and then walked on.
Yeah.
You had to dig for that shit.
Okay.
So it took a little to find it because it was buried under like MREs. So, but you did find it, and so it was a box full of body armor. And it's not like army grade, but it's made for engineers working under harsh conditions to keep you protected, kind of like Gordon Freeman's half suit. I think that's what it's called. So it has like ballistic plating and padding and stuff to keep you safer in harsher conditions.
Okay.
Plus, let's see. Gotta be better than that. Okay. When you put the body armor on, it goes through a power-up sequence. And has a helmet that doesn't cover the face entirely. It's more like a visor. And it comes up with a heads-up display a little bit with like temperature, localized radiation, stuff like that. Cool. Okay. And it compresses a little so that when you first put it on, it's very bulky. It's like a 2-year-old wearing a parent's clothes.
Okay.
But it compresses so that it's more form-fitting and becomes more comfortable.
Okay.
Now, as soon as you get that on, you hear a screeching, tearing sound coming from the east. as the northern door gets ripped off its everything. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Lovely. Lovely. Okay.
And shortly after that, from where you are in the back, you can pretty much, since you're on the back wall, when you find the armor, looking back towards the door, after you hear that, shortly after hearing that, another spike goes to the top of the door, shortly followed by another one.
Okay.
As it starts trying to rip this door off its hinges too.
So, can I start firing on this thing through holes in the door, perhaps?
There's no the body of whatever it is not exposed.
Okay.
All you see are the spikes that are being used to pull the door down off its hinges.
Okay.
Right?
One. That's one.
They're really good.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I mean, if this thing's opening steel doors, what's it
No.
gonna do to me?
Well,
I'm about to find out.
now, I'll still let you go through some investigations prior to that. So, were there any other things that you're wanting to find?
I mean, almost nothing that wouldn't require a general search, but like anything that might help me in the battle with this fucking thing. I don't.
Well, I mean, do you want to do a general search?
If there's a chance I can find something, yes.
Okay, because that was probably that. I mean, we were doing the things you were looking for, but there's also another thing that I wanted you to specifically discover while you were searching. So, do an opposed action. Use your where is it? Build combat drone. Also, we can say this is something that you realize after you get the armor on. So you can add a +6 with that. So +6 +2, 8 +8 plus whatever you have plus the card you play.
Okay, so wait, what? Say it. Okay, how much plus whatever?
Yeah, +6 from the armor you're wearing because it has a heads-up display. Some environmental information plus the build combat.
Okay, so
droid
8
and
+6 +14, 24.
And make sure to replace your card.
I am terrible at that.
And also draw the target number.
14.
There you go. Alright. So with the searching that you've been doing this cargo storage, you haven't found much. Aside from the armor and a few other things. Mostly because you run out of time.
Yeah.
Wherever this thing is, it is coming after you.
Very quick.
It knows you're here. It wants to get you. And it's ripping doors off their hinges to do that. However, amidst all the cargo and stuff that you're searching for, you see the name of you see a singular box that's very much out of place. And it has the name of a tech company on the side of it. What's the name of the tech company? You know it's out of place because does not look like any of the other boxes or storage units in here. And it's smallish. It's about, from the table to the floor, but the dimensions of this table.
Fuck it, call it Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket Systems.
So like
All right. So there's a box labeled Yellow Jacket Systems. And looking in that box, there's 2 compartments. Both of them are empty.
I'll lift anything up to see if there's anything underneath that, or is it just
There is some. Looking into the box, there's like foam, like a foam thing, and it looks like there were 4 pairs of cybernetic hands.
Oh hell.
And 2 jars of something. One of the jars in the box broke, and the shattered remains of that is still in the box. But and you can pretty much guess that because of this is where the first spider came from, that one of the pairs of cybernetic hands came from here, and whatever was in that jar melded with those, and that's how you ended up with the first spider. The second pair of cybernetic hands and the jar that those came with, because it's like layered, like, foam insert, hand jar, foam insert, hand jar. It's the bottom one that was broken.
Okay.
And of course, the hands are missing because you killed it in the other room. The top foam insert, everything's missing. So that was a flashback to when you found that. Coming back to this again.
Okay.
There's a monster tearing the door down.
Yeah.
And with the final screech of bending metal, it rips the door completely off. And standing out there on the other side is a roughly humanoid shape with that spider. It looks like the spider's attached to someone's face, like it jumped onto their face,
Okay.
and then wrapped its claws around it.
Oh, great. Okay.
Bolted or welded or something to this person's arms are like long tines that look like they were pulled off of a forklift.
Okay. That's unpleasant. Okay.
And they have a bunch more shit just like, it's like somebody grabbed a human and just started pushing electronics into their body.
Okay. That's about what I was thinking.
So you're seeing like freight loading components, autodock components. Autodock. That word just pops into your head for a moment. Autodock, medical bay, quarters, and just a whole bunch of stuff that was just squished into this person.
Okay.
and there's, at a distance, you can see they're kind of were wearing the same outfit that you had when you woke up. So there is a name patch, but it's obscured by a ton of blood
Oh.
and components and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So. Shit.
And it skitters forward and attacks you.
Yeah, I'm sure the fuck it does. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna fucking brace for combat.
Well, it appears to be strong, but because it's been ripping down doors, but it doesn't appear to be very well made. Because it's mostly components being shoved into a human body. And because you are at distance away from them, you get the first attack.
Well, so that would be plus 5, plus 6, is plus 11, plus 14, plus 16, 18. 17, I guess. 17.
Okay. Actually, copy 4 would be -8. Alright, so what did you have?
11, 16.
I played 19.
19. That's a 5 plus 6 plus 5. 5 plus 11, 16. There's a 5 plus 6 plus 5. That's plus 11, 16, 17, 18. Oh, 19. Oh, I've got 2 3 of a kinds. Jesus. 5, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Sorry.
I think you beat mine.
23. Yeah, I'm sorry. I miscounted.
Alright, so put one of my cards in the pile.
Did you draw the one card you used? Okay.
Alright, so my turn to attack. This is round 1. So, well, we don't have that +2 anymore. Okay. Alright, so 13.
Plus that. 5 plus 6. 11. 12. Damn it. 12.
So I won that one?
Yeah.
Alright, so into next round, so your turn.
Okay. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
I have 11, so you definitely win that one. I'll attack with a 14.
14, 15, 8, 6. Yeah, 15.
Alright, so you take another card from it.
Fuck you, spider.
Forgot who attacked last. Did I attack?
Oh, dang it. Shit, I think
Yeah,
you attacked. You attacked.
So, alright, so it's your turn again.
It's 11, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23? 23.
Alright, so now the 10.
I guess. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
Fuck that spider.
alright, so you're pretty far into the back of the room when it breaks through the door, and plus you're a whole lot better equipped now.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, and again, it appears to be strong, but not very well put together because it's mostly components jammed into a human corpse at this point. So, with one's assistance, you blast it to bits. It's Dead Space all over again. You shoot out one of its knees, and it's like, and it starts crawling towards you, and you shoot out one of its arms, and now it's just kind of, and then you shoot it in the face, what's left of its face anyway, and it pops like a watermelon. And it lays still.
I guess I'm going to go over it and examine it.
Okay. It's what would happen if you took a human corpse and just started pushing electronic components and various other things into it. It looks like after it latched onto this person's face, it started taking over that person's body and then started modifying it, but very poorly.
Yeah.
It didn't have access to this room where there was actual cybernetic components.
Oh.
It had access to whatever this up here was, so it was just grabbing whatever shit it could find.
Okay.
Which apparently were some forklift parts and some Autodoc stuff and various other things that aren't necessarily combat droid related. So it'd be like going to a tank graveyard and building a tank this would be like going to a tank graveyard and building a tank out of tank parts, and whatever this creature did up here is like going to a yard sale and building a tank.
Okay.
You might have a tank at the end of it, but it'd be a yard sale tank. So not the best tank.
Okay.
But it now lies dead.
I'm glad for fucking that.
When you get a closer look at it, the clothing on this corpse is shredded to shit, but the name on the clothing is intact. What's the name?
So this person would have been somebody who wrote, who was kind of a part of the same group. Okay. Oh. Go with Dave. Oh, it is.
David. Okay.
I think. Ow.
Okay. David, flashes of memory, flashes of video, interactions, places, doing things. Who is David? To you.
See, I'm kind of torn between some kind of like partner and some kind. Really good friend.
Okay. You remember David. He drove the spaceship. He was the pilot. He came with you on something. You can't remember. He was the pilot. He had a good sense of humor. He shared your like of ramen. More memories come back. All you remember is David. You don't think there was anyone else. You remember landing here. Always him flying the spaceship. This is your home.
This place that I'm at now.
Hmm?
Hostile environment. So this is where we were supposed to be safe, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess there's no way to bury David, but
Well, I mean, there's the frozen wastes outside, but you have a feeling that the ground will be frozen solid. So good luck with that.
I'll go ahead and take the name tag. Or let the name tag. David have anything on him might be useful, anything like that.
You had some playing cards.
Well, poor David, I guess.
He has an access card.
Oh, that's the guy with the card. Damn it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take the access card.
Okay. So just says it's an access card. It doesn't really have a name on it. You just know it. This is what I was supposed to scan on those doors that are ripped off.
Yeah. Okay. So, definitely gonna take that. And it doesn't sound like there's anything really else, so probably just gonna leave. Try to. Well, let's see what the fuck is up with her.
Alright, so there's no door here, there's no door here. They've both been ripped completely off. They lie on the floor, crushed up, almost accordion style.
Jesus.
Again, the thing was really strong, just not very durable. Through this doorway is a hallway, and there's nothing really much in that hallway itself. It's just a means of going from this room up that way. This door is also ripped off its hinges. So, looking through here, you see a much larger area beyond that, also indoors.
Okay. I guess I'd like to investigate a little bit.
You enter a very large open room. There's no walls in the middle or anything like that to divide it up. It looks like a living quarters. There's some like command structure type stuff to it.
Yeah.
Like there's on this back wall, kind of like that shape. There's a raised platform with a bunch of computers and monitors on it, and some controls and 2 seats. Over here is like a kitchen area. Over here, a place to sleep. There's like some fairly large bunk beds.
Okay.
And looking over there, you can see some personal effects. There's a medical station here, and like some things like a pool table and whatnot in the middle.
Okay.
Or at least that's what it would look like in the best of times. When you enter this area, it is ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
The kitchen area has been smashed. It looks like the thing was borrowing stuff from that. The bunk beds that were there had been smashed up. They weren't wooden, they were metal.
Okay.
That's where he got some of the spikes from.
Jesus. Yep.
The auto dock, which had like arms that it could like treat you with, have been pulled out.
Okay. Yeah.
The computer station is flickering, but a good chunk of that's been smashed up. The pool table, there's pool balls all over the place. That has been flattened, and pieces ripped out of that. There is a small workbench in here, and on that workbench you find the other tube of stuff. It's not smashed, but it is empty.
Okay. Wait. Okay, so it's empty. Somebody took it out, and is there any sign of anybody else here?
No.
Probably not.
It just looks like it's the two of you. You and David doing some kind of cargo shipment thing with him being the pilot and you with your hacking and droid skills.
Jeez. So that's pretty much all there, I guess.
There's still some computers working over there. Like 1 or 2 screens are still operational.
Maybe see if there's anything I can find out through there.
Okay. On one of the screens, it's still cracked, so it's hard to read. On one of the screens, there's a shipment manifest, and there's a line with the shipment yellow jacket, but it's mislabeled. It's, what did you write yellow jacket down for?
Yellow Jacket was the name of the company.
Like Yellow Jacket Cyber Systems?
Oh, Systems, yeah, the Cyber
Okay.
Systems.
It's not labeled Yellow Jacket Systems, it's labeled Yellow Jacket Supply in the shipping manifest.
Okay.
And next to it is a note, miss shipment.
Miss a shipment?
Miss shipment. Like it was,
Shipment. Okay.
it's not supposed to be here.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. Okay, well that definitely. Is there any detail on who may have ordered the shipment?
And there'll have to be one of those, what's it called again? Closed actions.
Post action. Yeah.
Tech Wizard. So, Tech Wizard +2 plus anything you have in your hand plus the card you play.
Plus 2, plus 4, plus 7. 18. Okay, passed.
Excellent. Alright. So, you're asking who ordered it. Okay. An order was put out for supplies for like more combat droid parts. Whatever it is you do for a living has something to do with that. So whether you're manufacturing combat droids and then selling them to other people, or you're being hired out to put them into use, or you're a security expert who's been hired out to this, you both seem to have an interest in keeping combat droid supplies in stock for whatever this is.
Okay.
So you ordered some supplies from your usual supplier, but they are out. So you went to a different supplier, Yellow Jacket Systems, and it looks like they sent you the wrong stuff.
Oh.
Because the cybernetic hands that did all this,
Yeah.
you don't have any use for these things. They're
Okay.
not something that you would normally use for any of this.
Okay.
You deal with like one and like turrets and stuff, not cybernetic stick-on parts.
Yeah. Okay.
So this was a misshipment.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's okay. So there's nothing else from Yellow Jacket Systems.
This appears to be the only box.
Well, I guess try. I suppose I'm gonna try and go to the port.
In fact, as you're researching into all this, more memories come back, and it's still spotty. You still don't have the complete story. A lot of stuff is missing because your brain was fried by that EMP grenade. You still don't have any idea how it went off in the first place.
Okay.
Other than it went off and scrambled your brain. So, yeah, I'm a security expert. I deal in combat droids. I I make these and I sell them. I repair these. I do consultations for these. David is my pilot. He takes me to the places I need to go. This is a small operation.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a small business venture.
Okay.
Something else. There's 4 lockers, but only the 2 of you.
Okay.
You don't know what that means, but it looks like you were the only 2 that lived here. But there's 4 lockers.
Is that in the big room? Or...
No, I'm talking about the 4 lockers down here.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was gonna say if there are 4 more, I need to search those, but okay. Lockers, 2 of those.
And he's the only other person here besides you.
There's nothing useful on the computers past the like database on shipments and stuff. Pretty much. Probably a good time to go to port.
You find a sticky note with some numbers on it.
Yep. Alright. Well, taking the sticky note with me. Port, open the door with
5, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9.
That's awesome. Okay, so
When you punch that in, it opens. And you're blasted in the face by very, very frigid temperatures.
there. I don't know that there's any way to prevent that. Is it like too cold and too windy for me to proceed or anything, or am I...
Well, as you're thinking about how to make your way to the ship, and it's snowing now, so it makes it even harder to see, because there's not a lot of light out there aside from the lights around here.
Okay.
But approaching out of the snow are about 12 to 18 figures. All of them with assault rifles aimed at you, and you can see, looking down, you can see like a whole bunch of red dots. And you hear one of them say, "Halt."
What's up? What do you hold? Shit, I don't think I can do anything against 18.
And then one, and they're all wearing like white outfits. They kind of blend in with everything. It makes them really hard to see. They don't approach further. The closest one's like 10 feet away. And one of them, with like a red stripe on his shoulder, approaches you. And they're, you can't see their faces. They're like head to toe winter garb. But a lot better dressed for this kind of weather than you are.
Yeah.
And the one with the red band isn't pointing a gun at you, but its approach is about 5 feet. And it says, Miss Phoenix, Yellow Jacket would like a word.
Oh, God damn.
And that's where we end this episode.
Hey! Okay. Son of a bitch. Okay.